Hey and welcome everyone, I'm Constant Rusesp and today we're going to watch my top 25 interesting facts about Dawn of War Soulstorm. In the game we have different armor types for every single unit, which means that same weapons will deal different damage to different targets. For example, anti-vehicle units usually have several damage to buildings and vehicles, but they are pretty useless against infantry, heavy infantry like Possessed Squad or Terminators, and commanders. At the same time, regular infantry is effective against other infantry, but it does almost no damage to vehicles. Other units deals pretty high morale damage, but they are not effective against any target. If Living Saint dies and resurrect, his resurrection ability will be reloaded after 10 minutes, which usually is too long time, and you will prefer to let her die and remake it again with full hit points. Orc Tambastas are the only one anti-vehicle in the game that is effective against vehicles in close combat, and deals more damage to heavy armored vehicles like Land Raider in close than in range combat.
Они нас не увидят. Готовь бомбы!
Into the bridge, you can jump on the wall and use Bagged Eldar's wipers like guided missiles to any single target on the map. You are also allowed to build portals there. The only one rule is that the building must be pretty close to your builder, or in other words, if your builder can kiss the building without moving, that means that he is enough close. In other case, he will stack and won't be able to move. Other maps where you can do this is Marconia or Kerulea. The general rule is that a second builder will increase a normal speed of building by a 33%, and more than 2 builders will not increase the building speed, so it's absolutely useless build for example a barrack with 4 bone singers. What is more, 2 builders scarabs inside Scarab Squad gives the maximum amount of building speed possible, so it makes no sense use more than 1 squad per building. The only one vehicle in the game that has heavy armor, and it's not a relic unit, is the Orc Kilaken. The rest of relic units that are not a vehicle have heavy demon armor. If you were wondering, Dark Eldars and Sisters of Battle are the weakest races in the game, but it's not clear which one is the weakest one. It seems like it's Sisters of Battle. The reason is that they haven't K units to make them easy to play after tier 3. Grey Knights deal several damage to all demon armor types, which means that they alone can deal with Living Saint, Bloody Stare, Kurtox. Imperial Guard Army isn't effective without attached Commissar or Priest. Commissar keep the morale high and increase the restoration of hit points, while the Priest increase the maximum amount of hit points, the damage, the movement speed and boosts morale. Moreover, after tier 2, Commissar execution ability will not only instantly restore morale for all your squads around, it also will multiply 2.5 times the range of damage done by laser weapons of regular and Kasserkind guardsmen. At the same time, Priest's skill makes him and his squad immortal for any time. After sacrifice, the Bloody Star that spawn on this world will be losing 4 hit points per second, but when he's shedding blood, he restores 5 hit points per second, which means that this bonus won't work while he is destroying vehicles or other targets like DoW Crisis battle suites, which is so sad because Bloodister has the strongest damage to buildings in the game. It takes for him 5 seconds to down an average turret. Be or not to be, was wondering Shakespeare playing Necron Lord. Is it better a sense of Nightbringer or a sense of Deceiver? The first one will restore the hit points of Necron Lord by dealing damage to the enemy, while the second one can take the control of your enemy squads and reduce by 20% the damage that they deal, which means that you have to focus the Deceiver attack on the strongest enemy unit. Space Marine Capellan is the most powerful medic in the game. The squad where he is linked increases the healing speed by 6 times the original one, and to 4 times for friendly squads that just are around Capellan. That's one of the reasons why he usually is linked to expensive Grey Knights or Terminators. If you were wondering, the only one function for the Talos Wildfire and Sister's Conflagration ability for Immolator is to kill nearby builders, which can be used when you want to kill fast the army of Gretchins or Scarabs repairing Monolith. And officially, that 2 upgrades are the weakest and the useless research in the game. At the same time, the useless and weakest unit in the game is Dark Eldar's Raven. Unlike what happens with Chaos and Space Marines, increase the infantry or vehicle limit will reduce the reinforce time for infantry and the build time for vehicles with Sisters of Battle. If you were wondering what is that red circle that appears every time your infantry make contact with Chaos buildings, it's a darkness aura that reduces by 20% the regeneration of morale of your units and boosts the healing regeneration 4 times for Chaos Infantry and 2 times for Chaos Lord and Sorcerer. It's true that this last bonus only works after tier 2. Eldar's Brink Lance, Graph Platform have pretty standard damage by itself, but his weapon pierces any type of armor in the game, making the damage target receive 75% more damage from all types of damage for 3 seconds. Considering that reload speed of this weapon is 3 seconds, if you focus a target like enemy commander, building or relic unit, you can destroy it very easily. If you attack a squad, only one member of the squad will receive the damage bonus. Necron Raids will receive the same infantry heavy armor type than Possessed Squad after tier 2 upgrade and will see a reduction to range damage to 80% and also increase her movement speed by 25%. If that's not cool enough, they can be immortal for any time, for decap or escape from battle and be repaired by Scarabs. No sense. We can find any strange moments with some units, such as Dark Eldar Hellion Squad, which is infantry. It has infantry armor, it takes infantry slot, but at the same time, it gets produced at Dark Foundry and not Hall of Blood. The vehicle armor research increased the infantry armor for some reason, but you cannot repair them with Builder. Orc's Keyboard takes vehicle limits. It produced in the mech shop. It has Demon High armor, but for some reason you can repair him with Gretchins. Necron Destroyer is vehicle and takes vehicle limit. Heavy Destroyer is a vehicle and take vehicle limits. Lord Destroyer is a commander, but takes vehicle limit and can be repaired by Scarabs. After researching all 3 artifacts in Forbidden Archive, delete it for receive back half of cost of the building because it's not useful anymore. Heavy Weapons team will receive 50% less damage from range and 60% less damage from close combat, and increase his armor type from medium to heavy high as soon as it's deployed. So deploy him in a heavy cover or drop him smoke for receive 75% less range damage or 80% less close combat damage. But not deploy more than one, or it's gonna be easy target for orbital from SM commander or dedicated male squad like Flayed Ones. While an unit is performing a synchronized kill, it becomes immortal, so make sure not to use any ability like Librarian Smite if you don't want to miss the hit. As more orcs are concentrated together, more bonuses they receive like more morale, maximum health and health regeneration, movement speed or damage. Every single bonus has his own rules. I have plans to create another video explaining it in more detail, but let's see one example of how it works. If I want to increase the movement speed of a squad, I will need at least 5 mob value. 50 population, or which is the same, have at least 4 WA banners, and also it's required a pile of guns. We know that Gretchins don't have mob bonus. A single Sluga give 1 mob, Nob Leader give 2 mob, Big Make 3 and War Boss 5. So if I have a single squad of 4 members of Sluga Boys, they won't have any bonus. As soon as I have 5 members in squad, I receive 1.5% speed increase per member in the squad, or 2% of member in the squad, which is a 10% of increased damage for this squad, which means that full Sluga Boy squad with Big Mech linked will have more than 38 increased damage without any upgrade, about 28% of increased speed and 150% to morale regeneration bonus.
Это что? Как скажешь? Отвали! Где тут дерутся? Как скажешь? Отвали! Как скажешь? Отвали! Да? Вот тебе конкретно чего надо?
Dark Eldar Soulshaker ammunition research doesn't work on Dark Lancers, the Scourge's anti-vehicle guns, which makes your gameplay even more painful. Chaos have the most durable main base in the game. By the time the orcs have the weakest one. Being the saver, take under your control any squad with linked commander. After that, unlink him and the commander will be yours forever. It's a bug and it's not recommended to use it against real players. And that's what's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, remember to subscribe and support the video. If you want a part 2 about another 25 interesting facts about Dawn of War Soulstorm.